Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? We have our grandson still, so kind of a late start today. I know it's almost noon by now. Uh, so we're going to kind of combine two things into one here. We're going to do the Shepherd's Devotion, and then we're going to hang out and talk about God. Talk about what we've done for God. Talk about what we plan to do for God. Talk about what God has done for us. We're just going to talk. Sounds really good. I'll wait until a few people get in here before we actually do devotion. It's a very short one, and like I said several times before, these are the things that I am studying in. And anyway, yeah, we got two people. One person, I guess I might have seen there wasn't nobody in the room and decided they didn't want to show up. Well, I don't forget to hit the like button on the way in. I don't really care about the buttons myself, but obviously YouTube does. So, soccer guy, you were the first one to comment. How are you doing today? Hopefully everything is well with you. Oh, oh. I'll tell you one thing. When you're not used to having little kids around you all the time, having your grandkids over for a couple of days, whew, them little guys will wear you out. Which God would give me at least half of the energy that He gives these little children. You don't have an eyelash. Hey, stop. Oh man, I had something on my hands and I done rubbed my eyes. My eyes burning. Ah. Anyway, all right. Well, we got 5 and 2 thumbs up, 6 and 2 thumbs up. Slab City News. Are you taking notes? How's it going, buddy? We're gonna chit chat. We're gonna combine two of my shows together. We're going to do the Shepherd's Devotion, and then we're going to do the Talk About God, and then we're going to do talk about whatever matters. I mean, whatever God may have done for you, whatever you may have done for God, whatever you're thinking you might want to do for God. We'll talk a little bit about whatever. I'm just going to talk. I imagine I'll be doing more talking. Y'all be doing more typing, but nevertheless, same thing. Anyway, the Book of Proverbs. Such a beautiful book. As a matter of fact, one of our friends, Katana Cooking Mama from up in Maine, one of the ones that we visited, she did her Bible study this morning in Proverbs. Had another friend of mine posted a couple of scriptures from Proverbs, and I don't know, I'm going to study into this and figure out exactly why, for some reason, everybody seems to be in Proverbs. But until then, Proverbs chapter 1, verses 7 through 9. Just 3 verses for those of you that don't like the verse part of it and just like the chit chat and talk. It'll be over with real quick. Like, it wouldn't hurt to listen. But here you go. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an anointment unto grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. Read that one again. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an anointment of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. The next couple of verses deal with walk not in the way of the sinners. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh. Anyhow, that's a little food for thought. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. It happens so much these days. It really does. Thank you. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Got me that Venom. Those things ain't but 99 cents. They're cheaper than a pop is or soda. It's good. Especially considering we're kind of short on now. But anyway. And hey! Heed not to anger, young man. What was that all about? Well, he got mad and threw his milk at the wall. It didn't open. He threw the milk at the wall and he's sitting there huffing and puffing behind the door. Hey, you know what? There's other Bible verses on there that tells you it's not a really good idea to do that. Like spoil it, or spare it the rod, spoil it the child. Anyway, you don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm just picking at him. It's a grandparent's job is to spoil them, isn't it? We could try to teach them, but they don't. Anyway, so we did the reading of the word. I hope somebody, if not everyone, got at least something out of that. Just to be sure, I want us to read it again, at least one more time. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hey! You dogs want to wrestle. Y'all wrestle out in the middle of the living room, not right under my feet every time. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Hear the instruction of my father, and forsake not the law of my mother. If you read right below it, for they shall be the anointing of grace upon thy head, and the chains about thy neck. Then the anointing upon the head, that would be my interpretation, just my my personal interpretation on it. If I'm wrong, then may the Lord show me differently. It says, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, which the first part of verse 9 For they shall be an anointing of grace upon thy head. And then the next part of verse 8 is, and forsake not the law of thy mother. The second part of verse 9 is the and chains about thy neck. Chains about thy neck would weigh you down, but the blessings or the grace unto, or the anointment of the grace unto thy head would lift you up. It's funny how the verses seem to intertwine with each other. You know, a lot of people, a lot of them, a lot of the prophets, a lot of the ones that have wrote the book of the Bible, they speak in parables on everything, and I mean everything. Anyway, so hopefully that reaches someone, if not everyone. And so we decided we're gonna, since it's so late, I'm gonna do the Shepherd's Devotion, and then we're gonna do the Talk About God, and kind of just hang out for just a little bit. I'm not gonna do a real long one, but anyway. So let's talk about God a little bit. Has anybody had anything special that God has done in your life that you would like to share? I'm never saying nobody commenting hardly. Never mind. I just didn't see the comments. Okay, well, let me get my Bible back out. What is that one? Ezekiel 23 and 20. Ezekiel. I got it. Almost. What was that? What was that again? 23:20. Missed it. Nope, too far. Ezekiel 23 and 20. This question has losses and the issues like issues of horses. For she doubted unto their whose flesh is as the flesh of asses, and whose issues are like the issues of horses. I need to read before and after this verse to really understand what they're saying there. So our flesh is as the flesh of asses, whose issues is like the issues of horses. Though thou callest in remembrance and thy years. Okay. seed multiplied from ordinance and the stability of her root. She had a oh, okay, all right, I get it. That one's I'm not sure how that played along with what we were talking about, but that's an interesting one. I haven't haven't come across that verse. Well, I'm sure I have. I just never actually paid close attention to what it said. There's a problem when you skim through the Bible a lot, you miss a lot of things. That's why now that I am studying and not just skimming through the book, it's like, hey, it's just a book. I'm gonna just read through it real quick. No, you're not messing with that today. Not right now. But no, please don't mess with that. Please.
Sit down. I'll let you play with my tablet.
I have confessions.
Yeah.
I have serial killer. You are a serial killer. Not you have serial killer.
Yeah.
Huh? You mean you killed the bowl of cereal? Let's see.
He's got cat food. We put cat food out for him.
The Bible has a wonderful way to explain things. Boy, does it. You don't always understand it. I've noticed that I can read a passage in the Bible, and I can I need to turn the. Do you need the Wi-Fi? Oh. Anyway, I can turn a passage on the Bible. Or turn a passage on the Bible. Listen to me. I was thinking of turning the Wi-Fi on at the same. Anyway, we can read passages in the Bible and not fully understand them and just kind of read over them. It's some of that fill-in words you would think. And then later on, something happens and you go to the book to get understanding of what's going on, and suddenly the same verse will pop up and it's like, hey, that wasn't just fill-in words. That meant something. And it really does have a weird way of explaining a lot of things. Venom, Breakfast of Champions. I know, I'm just picking. I do that all the time when I get a. I try to cut back on the energy drinks, but the Venoms are 99 cents. You can't get a soda for 99 cents. But anyway, let's see. Katana Cooking Mama, how are you? Hey, believe it or not, we seem to be studying in the same thing. I watched your thing this morning, and you're in Proverbs, and so was I. I happen to be in the first book of Proverbs, and I read that. I was reading on that this morning, and the one part that stuck out is the part that I do devotions on. A lot of people think that I study a whole lot for these devotions and everything else, and we can't do that. All right.
Show everybody.
She wants me to show y'all. Okay. Anyway, no, that's Gabe's glasses. That's the grandbaby's glasses. That thing makes my eyelids stick to it. I don't like that. Anyway, RC Cola is 99 cents. Oh yeah, I guess it is. The Venoms taste better. I forgot about that. RC Cola is 99 cents. Oh yeah, they don't have them. That's one of them. One of them ritzy stores, I guess. They don't carry the cheap stuff. But yeah, we gathered up some change, and when you got us some Venom, I'm getting. you don't want the tap water here. The tap water is nasty. But that and you get tired of Kool-Aid and stuff after a while. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, what was I saying right before I said that?
You were studying the same thing as the time.
Oh yeah. A lot of ones they take a study over these things and then come up with a good deal for morning devotion, and it's not that. I study I do the morning devotions on what I am studying on, and what I do is I start reading straight through and a chapter, and whatever sticks out, that's what I end up putting on morning devotions. These morning devotions may not be meant for everyone in the room, or even one or two in the room, but I know that they are for me because they are my studies. They are what I am studying in. Proverbs is an awesome book to study in. It explains so much different things. It's a wonderful book. Anyway, so I would love to hear about some things that God has done in your lives. Let's start off with that one. What has God done in your life lately? I came in too late. I will rewatch later. Okay? Sounds great. So what has God done in your life lately? Anybody? Well, all right. Well, while y'all are thinking about that or typing it out, I will tell you that God has done so many things in my life that spared my life, and I got in a car wreck. Wonderful, wonderful. It's not wonderful you got in a car wreck, but it's wonderful your life was spared. Wow. You know, some people go through the most terrific things, and they don't realize that is God that has His hands on you in those situations. If it wasn't for God, well, we wouldn't be here. So none of us would. That is amazing. Are you all right though? As far as did it hurt you in any which way, or did you walk away from it in great shape? Now, I'm not talking about the car. I'm talking about you. I know the car probably came back in a little different shape, but not necessarily in great shape. Yes, I do wanted to dance with my car. That's always the worst one. That's,
You tell me where she hit the
honey,
deer?
you got it, huh?
Tell me where she hit the deer with her car?
You knew she hit a deer?
Yeah, I watched her video. She sent in the claim to the insurance company.
I didn't see the video. Why do I not get? I don't get any. The only time I ever get any kind of notifications on anything of hers is only when she does, the Bible deals. I don't know what's up with YouTube. A lot of people don't get notifications right away or anything. I've seen many people. They get let's see, my insurance has covered it and have to pay $500 deductible. Well, it is great that you were not harmed in any which way. How about the deer? You don't mind me asking,
How's Mr. Winnie doing?
What was that?
The remote.
The remote. Oh my God, that hurt. She dropped the remote on my bare foot. The deer is fine?
I don't know, they couldn't find it. Woody told her about calling the
Well, the deer.
wildlife thing. There was a little bit of hair on the bumper.
Not sure. No blood, just a bit of hair. Woody is great. All right, good deal. How's the please? I don't know. I ain't been back in that apartment. Yeah, I've got to go and get in that apartment probably today or tomorrow. I'm dreading it, but I got to get in there.
I think the police are still bad because I walked in last night. And the kitchen in my side.
Oh, we set some bombs off in that apartment, but I'm not sure that did any good. Do we have anything for this one? This one got captured, right?
Yeah, she ate this morning.
Oh, okay. She's just wanting to visit.
Yeah.
You know, if you spray the room with holy water, it may help.
We can do that, but
That would take a lot of holy water, and
maybe I shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I think that would be kind of like casting your pearls before swine.
She just wants attention.
I don't know. I'm not. Besides, I don't have any holy water. You got holy oil, which I keep on me at all times. I keep it in my pocket. Keep it in a little bag.
Hmm.
Enjoy the cranberry gifts from God. Yes, they are. And they are a handful sometimes too, and they will wear you out. Just jokes, but vinegar in a spray bottle will kill, and then just spray everywhere. Alright, well that's all good. That's a good idea.
Vinegar works for a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, vinegar works on a lot. So, does anybody have anything that God has done for you lately? Going once, going twice, sold. Okay. Next. Has anybody done anything for God lately? If so, what have you done? If you feel compelled to share, God bought you a new 4-wheeler. Okay. What have you done for God lately? That's something we all should ask ourselves all the time. Everybody, even when you go into a church, every time you go into a church, the first thing that they want to know is they want to know, how has God blessed you? Every woman, right,
I am alive and I
every
get to
day
spend the day
at
with the grandbaby.
3:30, and see, there's something that people miss all the time. When I ask you, what has God done for you? God has woke us up. He has give us the gift of life, breath. Just think. How many people this morning woke up to realize that they weren't alive anymore? That they weren't able to walk this earth and see their loved ones. How many people woke up this morning just to find out that they'll never wake up again?
I knew it.
You know, you go into a church and stuff, and like I was saying, they ask, how has God blessed you? It's more like man counts a man's worth in church. A man will count a man's worth by how much God has blessed them. Me personally, I think the opposite. I think it's not a matter of how much God blesses us. How much do we do
Yeah. That Dawn just-
to glorify God? We should wake up every morning and strive to at least do
I want
something
that Dawn, we have that game.
to glorify
That
God.
green one's under the sinks.
A selfless act. Something that you're not going to gain anything from here. Now you will gain treasures, not here on earth. You gain the treasures in heaven. But something you will not gain anything from here. Just get up and you say, you know what? This is what I'm going to do for God today. We all fall short of that. Every one of us. I need a church. Oh, that's not right.
Let me see.
Some of those games you have. That game I think has to have internet.
I don't even pay this one, baby.
I think the one with the worm on the front of it. That one on the very far end. I think that's the only one. The only one I figured.
Piano is the first word.
Oh well, maybe the piano one. All right.
The baby
Yes, I would go if there were stone in church or not. Well, it's not a matter of going to a church. It's not a matter of how in the world does this thing go dead so quick every time I go on video? I have full battery and now all of a sudden it's at 15%. Huh?
What's wrong with the volume?
I don't know. It's not working. That's why I couldn't use it for the video. Anyway, you know, when you go to church, you're going into a doctrine. And I don't know. I have my own feelings and my own beliefs on that one. And a lot of people don't share the same beliefs and don't share the same feelings. But you're not going to find salvation through the doors of a church. You're going to find salvation with that one-on-one relationship with God. And you need that one-on-one relationship with God. Let God guide you. Sorry, I can't talk this morning. You let God guide you. Let Him teach you. Let Him show you the righteous ways. See, I have a lot of problems with churches, you know. But
I'm trying to
So-
figure something out, babe. Stop.
find salvation at the bottom of every spiritual.
It's like you can't hear it.
Well, you're looking for the wrong kind of salvation there. I mean,
Let me get the headphones.
now it does say drink, but it also says not to get sober and drunk. It is a matter of overindulging. You know, drinking a few beers, yeah, that's fine. But trying to find salvation in the bottom of a beer can, it's not where you're going to find salvation either. You don't find salvation
Sit up.
reading and understanding this, digging in and learning. And I tell you what, you want to really understand Jesus and understand what He done for us. And you want to understand all of it. Start in that New Testament with Matthew. Go to Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, the whole 9 yards. You go the whole distance. And understand These words in red are the words of our Lord Jesus. They're the real important ones. Don't get me wrong. Everything in that Bible is important. If you really want to learn, start with the red words. Read all of them first. What's going on in here? We are combining several different shows all into one. We did the morning devotion, then we did the let's talk about. We're doing the let's talk about God, and then we're gonna get into the let's just talk about whatever. I wish I could see a few more people that actually want to have some ideas of what they would like to do for God today. Me, I just pray that God leads at least one person to me that I can witness to. One person that I could talk to. Just one would satisfy me. Just one. One lost soul that I can talk to. But I'm talking about in person. I love that. I love it because when you can sit down and talk with a person face to face and witness to them and tell them about God, you know, this is great. The YouTube thing, it is great. I love it. And I get a chance to talk about what I love so much. I get to talk about the Bible, and I get to talk about all of this to a lot of people. You know, and I enjoy that. But I love it even more when I get to meet people face to face. I'll phone you up there and talk about God and how He led me here. Okay. Well, look us up on Facebook. We got Facebook Messenger. You're more than welcome to call me off a bit anytime. I am thinking about eventually, once we get to where we're able to, I am thinking about getting a secondary a secondary phone or either that or maybe an app or something to where I can put a phone number out there, but I can turn it off, you know, so that when I am, when I'm busy and stuff like that, I don't have the phone ringing off the hook. But I'd like to put a phone up to where people can call me, and then the number is out there for anybody, and people can call me and because I love to hear how God works in people's lives. I love to hear about it. I love to hear people's testimonies, and
I'm trying to help you.
change the name from Treehouse to Devotion. I thought about that, but we're building a website, and it's already been paid for and everything, and we cannot change the name of it. And I don't know. I thought about it, and I don't know. It just I don't know. I just rather keep it the way it is. Wow, that's quick, man. It went from 15% down to 5%, like quick. What is going on with this thing? All right, hold on. I gotta.
You want me to help you? You can't play this. It's locked. You have to go back. Yeah, move down to catch him.
All right, let's see.
Uh-oh. Oh, did you do that, baby?
Yes, I did. Because I had to plug my phone in real quick because this ain't. Yeah, it's this side that's like, yeah. This right there. And this thing won't work. I'm not going to be able to do the music thing and all of that this morning because my phone went from fully charged to 5% in just that short amount of time. And I started maybe 5 minutes before you got here. Okay, let's see. All right. Set your phone battery. Now, this phone's been giving me a lot of problems. I just don't have access to another phone yet. I don't even have a Metro around here.
I'm gonna go see.
See what?
Extension.
Huh?
I didn't burn.
Yeah, they're probably not gonna have one. All right, so
Cover your mouth.
let's see. They're giving me
Cover your
a
mouth.
parental-
Oh, Riley just cute.
okay.
Ew, some of that don't look like Alfred.
Yes. So Selena said hello too. Just Anna said hello.
Hey, girl.
She said, "Hey, girl." So you asked what I did for God. The only thing I can think of was I gave 1,000 to the Red Cross and gave an old lady money to buy food. Well, that's great. That's wonderful. That is definitely a start. Wow, nice. God will bless you. So, all right. Let's just talk and chit chat. Let's see. What do y'all want to talk about today? What are you doing, little man? None. None. You're just moving a chair over here, crowding everything up and trying to move things around. Nothing. It's funny how kids do that. I'm not doing nothing. I'm moving this big old chair all the way across the room, but I'm not doing anything. Now you got your glasses on, huh? Now do not touch the phone because you'll have to get down if you do. We're not playing that one.
I found.
Hey, this little guy is a camera hog. He likes the camera. Don't touch. I told you, do not touch the phone. Now we're not deleting people's comments today. That was only when Robert Burke was in here. He had something going yesterday. He wanted his comments out of there. He wanted Robert's comments out of there.
I must think you're
Yes,
better
yes,
that road, Riley.
You see yourself?
No. Do not.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on each hand makes 10. Yep. So what? No more comments? Come on. You know, at least say hi. Can you wave at them? Say hey.
Hey,
How are you?
I am.
God bless. Say God bless.
No.
No. You don't want to tell them God bless? We tell you that every time you sneeze. I lost interest then. Ah. I didn't see that. What was that? Ask him what the square root of 100 is. You know what the square root of 100 is? Is that right? Hello. Do I know? No. the square root of 100. Let's see. Square root would be
The lowest common denominator that can be times within itself.
yeah. Would be the
I mean, you could say 1, because
nah,
100
it would be
times
no. It's got to be more than one. It's like 10 or something.
100 times 1.
It's like ow, come on, man, that hurts. I don't know. It's like 10 or something. I don't know. There it goes. It's 10. According, I don't know.
That's the
Made
lowest
sense.
common denominator.
No, can't be the lowest common denominator.
That's how you figure out the square root is the lowest common denominator that can be.
You know how long it's been since I had to do any kind of math like that?
I don't know. I was about to say I could ask my son. He's
What's-
like a genius in that stuff.
What's 10 times 10?
Well, yeah, that would be the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
Yeah, common denominator.
Yeah,
10 and
Yeah,
10.
that's right. 10.
All right.
Yeah. What are you twisting my arm for? Oh, you want to show off my tattoo? You know what it says? It says, laugh now, cry later. I did that one myself. Yep. Yeah. You know, I did that back when I was really into the world and not into anything.
Good
To do
Lord,
with-
it's been 28 years since I've been in school.
You know, and I was really out there in the. It's been years ago,
Oh, wow. That is,
but it works. It works good for nowadays too, because you know, people when it comes to God's word, though, they laugh now, they'll be crying later. I like that tattoo. I mean, I meant it in a very sinister way when I did it. Back then, I really didn't. I had my own little hatred with things, but it's funny how God can let you go through things, go through trials in your life to where you develop all right, you're gonna have to go and sit over there, okay? I don't mind you sitting in my lap sometimes, but you were squirming so much and kicking and come on. But sit down there and watch cartoons. I'm trying to
Why is it not cold?
I don't know.
You don't have it on cold.
I don't have it on cold. It's cold enough.
Sit over there, you cold. It's hot back there.
let me see something, baby.
I might go and get
Look
my
at you.
my custom wrench
Look
from
at
the
your
driver's side of the floorboard.
Look at your
That
chest
ain't-
and your neck. The colors.
Anyhow, all right.
God,
Time me read a verse in the Bible.
you don't have.
Let me find one for you to read. I just read a verse in the Bible. I read several verses. Then come on, y'all.
No,
You see the one cord? I got a cord in
no,
my.
you're wet. Stop.
Anyway, let's see. Time me read. Oh, I've already read that.
You're-
Let's see. Sorry, I wanted to see your feed. I got insurance calling. Well, you can always go back and re-see it.
Lay down and stop.
Hold on, I'll look that one up real quick.
Yeah.
There we go. Keep that so you can tighten up the cords, because, you know, you see ones.
You running awful fast. Are you trying to air dry?
Hey, can we
Okay.
get
All right, let's
Let me take it all over. Here we go.
shed some light on the subject. Hold on just a second.
Back here. I got-
Mess. Did it myself. What was that? Psalms 30.
No, you're not doing
37
that.
and
You're gonna
5.
sit down, you're gonna sit down.
30. Not 40. 30s. Not 20s either. Okay. 37 and what was that? 37 and 5, right? Yeah. 37. 37 and 5. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Very good. That was a good one. I like that one. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee
Gabriel Joseph,
the
stop.
desire of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord.
Please.
Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
Be a good little turkey bag.
And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Very good. And 37. That's a fate of the wicked. Oh wow. Okay, now that one's something I'm gonna have to study on this one. Thank you for bringing that up, because there's some other verses right below it, like starting at verse 9 and stuff that is entitled the fate of the wicked. That one ought to be interesting.
Uh-uh.
Jeff says, Tommy, how are you?
You drank it.
Just saying hi. Busy today. Life is good. God is Susan. What's that?
Hey,
What are you doing?
she's got food
Susan.
hanging from her butt.
Susan. Oh, hey. Jimbo's lady Susan just texted me.
Yeah?
Yep. I don't know what about. I'll have to find out.
Thank you.
Makes sense to me? Yeah. If you read the verses before and the verses after it, it makes perfect sense. Did it not make sense to you? Wait a minute. Are you seeing something I'm not seeing? Made sense to me. What was that? 37 verse Psalms, not Proverbs, Psalms 37. No, whoa, I'm way off, huh? That's 80s, 50s, 20s. Oh, and then skipped it. 37 and 5. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Yeah,
I'm gonna stay.
read right before it. On 4, it says, delight thyself also unto the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart.
My son.
Or their games.
Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
He just all of a sudden.
And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Okay. Yeah, I understood it fine. Is there part of it that you didn't understand? I mean, I don't know why you asked me that. Huh. Now you got it. Yeah. Read it carefully. Now you got it. I got it. Okay, wait a minute. What was that? Genesis 6 talk about fallen angels mating with women and creating giant human demon hybrids. Kind of cool. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. You want to know a little more detail about that particular incident that they're talking about in Genesis there? When you get done watching this, look up on YouTube, look up the Book of Enoch. The Forbidden Book of Enoch. Read it. listen to it. However, listen to it and read it, whichever. But it explains a lot about the angels and what they did, and yeah, it's almost chilling. And it explains a lot of other things in the Bible too. It brings a lot of things that are in the Bible. It brings them to light. I don't like you're doing. You know, it brings a lot of things to light. Seriously, if you wanna look at the angels and the demons and you want to get an understanding of it, look up the Book of Enoch. Do yourself a favor and look it up. Yeah, read it as book before the Bible. I don't know. It's been what happened? Lost it.
Can't do it without a harness.
He's over there you're trying to clip your dog up so you can take him out, and he ain't got his harness on.
I think I'm gonna have to get out that bigger harness.
I like this. We did the morning devotion. We did the talking about God. And we get to the part of let's just talk about whatever. And now y'all decide y'all want to talk about biblical. I love it. I love it. You guys are great. Still have 13 people in here, only 10 likes.
Okay, come on.
I don't know why, but YouTube strives on the likes, so.
What are you doing? Come on. Hey.
I was actually thinking about trimming this and cutting it short. And I don't know, as much as I mess with this thing, I don't know if I should do that. What do y'all think? Probably look funny. Yes, indeed. So, what else we want to talk about? We'll stay on here for just a little bit longer. Corinthians 3:3. Huh? We'll disconnect this box and see if it works. Instead of disconnecting the box, I wonder if you can switch the cards. Alright, I'm gonna have to quit putting my Bible underneath that thing, but okay, what was that you was wanting? Corinthians 3:3.
All that for nothing.
All right.
My big card.
What did I say it was? Well, all right. Before I go too far, which Corinthians? 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians? I kind of need to know that.
And I'm gonna fix this.
Oh. Cards? Oh no!
Taking it back, little girl.
Stop. Now the bathroom.
1 Corinthians.
Now we have a fire.
Hey, 1 Corinthians. I was in 2 Corinthians. Now, what was the verse? 3 and 13. Alrighty. Oh, too far. 3 and 13. 3 and 13. Well, you got me studying a bunch today, don't you? All right. Every man's walk shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, and because it shall be revealed by fire, and fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. Yes, it shall. If any man work about which he
What are you doing?
has built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's works shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Oh, if any man built upon his foundation, gold, silver,
But I was
precious
trying to
stones,
give him
wood,
at least one, and then we didn't have a harvest.
stubble.
There
Or for other foundations can no man lay than that clay, which is Jesus Christ. Now if any man build upon his foundation gold, silver, precious stones, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work for it. Well, alrighty, that one is. I ran out of bookmarks. I am going to have to bookmark this one. I am very interested in reading a little more on this one. Yeah, wonderful. Now, what's I looking for? Wait a minute. Yeah, well, yeah, that'll work. Take that one. All right. Alrighty. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not supposed to mess with that, little man. Please. I don't have. No, you're not going outside either. Close your door. Riley, what are you wanting? I'm running out of places to put things. I had this neat little desk thing, but it doesn't really work when you have a kid that keeps trying to jump in your lap. Hold on just a second. Ow. 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 That's like the third time I pinched my finger trying to put that stupid thing together. Okay, anyway. Stop. Riley, stop. Every time I put that back up, I'm just hearing you yank it loose. I'm gonna have to. All right. Anyway, did I miss anything? Hard to understand. 1 Corinthians 3:13. It's not hard to understand. It's just I'm not sure that I'm understanding it just right. So I want to read a little more before and a little bit more after. I've noticed that you take a scripture and read it, and if it doesn't make sense, if you read what's before and what's after and pray about it for understanding, then you'll get it. I think I understand where it's going with that, but I need to read a little bit more on that one. So I like it when I find ones I need to read. I need to read or study a little bit more. Thank you very much for that. I do greatly appreciate it. For with knowledge is power.
Hey.
Huh?
You had to get onto him?
Yeah, you come over here and
That's the reason why you're up on me trying to suck up to me, because you got in trouble. No. You want to get
Okay.
my mind out.
let me.
You get in trouble, you get in
I'm gonna write these down because let's see.
trouble.
First Corinthians 2 and 2, 3. First Corinthians 2, 3 are good to read. What do you mean 2, 3? Like chapter 2, verse 3? Can you re-clarify that one? Which one you're asking me to read here? 2, 3 are good read. All of them from start to end. Well, that's great. That'll work. I have an app that's on my phone, and when I'm busy doing things, I'll put my headphones in, and I'll just start it out at the beginning of a book and listen to it, and it reads it to you. It tells a story. Okay. I've read a lot of different things in Corinthians. I've read vaguely familiar with the story that you're talking about, but need a refresh on that one. See, I like that. The love chapter. Yeah, I like that when y'all are getting involved in this. That's something. When y'all decide to give me scriptures that you would like to see me study on and stuff, I encourage everybody in the room to also look them up and study on them, because that's what we need. We need to be able to talk about and discuss our thoughts and our feelings about different things, And remember, I was talking about the making sure everything is uplifting and everything. That is the best way to help lift us and help lift each other. When we're climbing up God's mountain there, one of my favorite songs is, when you get up on God's mountain, turn around and see me struggling, trying to make it alone. Just lifting my name up to Jesus. Let's help each other make it home. It's one of the most important parts of that song, I believe. And that's what we should do. We should be lifting each other up, not tearing each other down. We should be, hey, this one, I've got knowledge of something that this one doesn't. So let me put it up there and tell them, hey, you might want to read this. You might want to understand this. And I definitely appreciate and encourage that. So, anyway, do we get any more? No. I was forced to study the Bible when I was a kid. Well, you seem to have a little knowledge in it, so it can't entirely be a bad thing. I know the problem with that is a lot of people force that, and see, just like with my own son, I had a complete different agenda than what he had, and I was trying to, I don't know, in a kind of a way of kind of forcing salvation on him. He's a grown man. He needs to do his own thing. I don't want to see him go astray at all. But at the same time, I believe we taught him enough to where he will if he's not on his walk with God, then he will make sure he has a walk with God at some point. All right, let's see. You were blessed. I had drug addiction and parents and ministry. I had friends and their drugs, and I wish someone would put a Bible in my hand as a kid. Wow, my life passed away not long ago. Now I wanted nothing to do with God. Then I started waiting and we talked about God. Funny how things work. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. You mean to say that my videos have caused you to come closer to God? If I understood that right. Then I started with you talking about God. Funny how things work. Wow. Thank you for telling me that. That means a lot. It really means a lot. Wow. Thank you, Jesus.
Stop.
See, that's all I've tried to do.
You have to share. You didn't have it.
That is all I've tried so desperately to do. Honey,
How do you
come
turn
here.
it on?
I don't do nothing, baby. Don't come on.
Look, I was forced to study the Bible when I was a kid. My wife passed away not long ago. I wanted nothing to do with God. And I started wanting you to talk about God, funny how things work. That's why I say, are you saying that these videos have brought you closer to God? That was my answer. Isn't that beautiful? No, I'm not upset. Those are tears of joy. Believe me, those are tears of joy. I am a very emotional person. I love to see it when somebody is getting closer to God. And to know that I have a part of that is a very, very blessed feeling.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. I'm
It
just
don't work. I
a
just
big
stopped
softy,
it.
I guess. Yeah, right.
Found it where?
Wow.
Nowhere. Did I stick it too?
That is just, that is a testimony in itself. Thank you.
I'm trying to get to work. Just saying.
All right.
Hey.
You're more than welcome, but thank God.
Hey. Hey.
You know, it wasn't long ago, huh? Oh, it wasn't long ago that you gotta understand. When I was in church and I was doing, when I was doing everything, I was doing everything I could for God. And then when I started listening to the preachers and realizing that they were preaching more about the tithing and offerings and preaching more about I need money and give me money for this, that, and they were buying, you know, I was watching this from the inside, watching these preachers that did not like it when you said something that was negative against them. And they would rebuke you in a heartbeat, even though you have biblical verses, Bible verses that you could show that and all I was doing was asking questions to a couple of them that really did not like that at all, because it went against what they needed for their riches here on earth. And I got to where I didn't want anything to do with them, and I never will forget that. I love church music. All right, I was a youth minister, but I love church music. And I was working in another town. I was working on a roof, shingling a house. It was back when the short cut off shorts, your jeans cut off, and you had all the those the fabric from the jeans, just kind of dangling off the bottom of your shorts, and white beaters on, which they're lucky I even put that back on. I mean, I was in nothing but a pair of shorts up there, shingling a roof, and it's hot as could be, and we were doing this on a house that was directly across the street from a church. And it was the straw that broke the camel's back, man. I was listening to their choir practice. Oh my goodness, the music sounded so good. I wanted so bad to go in there, and I looked at myself and I'm like, no, you know what? The Bible says, come as you are. They weren't having service or anything, they were practicing. I come down off the ladder and I put my tank top or wife beater, whatever you call them, to put it on and walked across the street. I still had my belt on, my tool belt, and I walked into that church to listen to music. And buddy, I walked through the doors of that church, and when I walked through the doors of that church to listen to the music, I don't know, bishop, I hope it wasn't the preacher that did it, but whoever the guy was, come from about the pulpit area, and he met me almost at the door. How he made it across that church that quick, I have no idea, but boy, he seen me come in that church, and he come flying down that aisle. And and he was telling me that I wasn't dressed appropriate to be in God's house, and I didn't need to be there, and just rebuking me in every which way and called me everything but the devil himself. And I'm looking, I'm like, dude, man, chill out. We're all in the same thing here and stuff. Just because I don't dress like you do or whatever, I mean, I'm working on it. And anyway, it really, really upset me that's what you see in 90% of the churches. And it was a straw that broke the camel's back. And I was like, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with no churches. I don't. I see too much wrong in churches, and I wanted nothing to do with it, and I got away. And in getting away, I shouldn't have let it affect my my walk with God, but I did. I drifted away from that, and then I drifted away from reading the Bible, and I always kept my Christian morals to a certain extent, but they kept getting, that light that shines within you just keeps getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and so much to the point where it got to where I was backslid, very far backslid. I mean, even went as far as getting to where I couldn't function without taking as many different kind of pills as I could, and then it got to the dope stage, and it got to all of that, and it went that far. I really went completely for the other team, literally and I broke that. I finally got to figuring in my head, I got it figured out. It's like, why am I giving up salvation because I'm giving up on church? There's no reason to give up on salvation because you turn from the wicked ways of the church. And I started, but I promised, and I swore to myself I would never, ever. I'm not gonna preach. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna try to teach anybody because I was led the wrong way to believe that, um, that the one thing that is the root of all evil, money, is the one thing that they preach about the most. And in every church, you are judged by how much you give, or how much you make, or how much not by your work, or not by your walk with God, but by your works. And anyway, I finally come to the conclusion that I'm gonna keep my salvation alive, and I did that, and I got back to my Christian values, but never really fully understood and come back.
Oh, wait.
Really didn't study a lot, and really didn't do anything for God, but yet kept my Christian values. And then I found myself in a very humbling position, and started praying and reading more and more in the Bible, and realized that God never forsake me. He never gave up on me. He's been there the whole time. Those times in which I thought I was surely doomed, He was there carrying me. But He let me go through a lot of that, so that I can actually talk to a person about addiction, and I can talk to people about pills, and I can talk to people about things like that, because I've been through that. Prior to that, I'd never been through anything like that. And it's amazing when you get so close, or you think you're so close, and you're okay, I'm living right, I'm doing right, and then and then it takes a few very very spiritual moments to really wake you up and make you realize just how far you actually are. And I'm so glad for for my walk with God, and I am very blessed that I can put my walk with God on YouTube for future reference, and also for people to see themselves. And if you watch my videos, you can tell that I had a lot of Christian values. I had, and I was trying to live right, but I was way off on a lot of things. But God has been working with me so much, and has brought me so close, and He has brought me closer than I've ever been before. I am way closer now than I ever was before. And it's because I'm walking with God. I'm not walking with a preacher. I'm not walking with a church. I'm not worried about the doors opening on a church. I'm not placing my salvation on a building that I can only get into once or twice a week. I'm not placing my salvation on a group of people that judge me as soon as I walk through the door, because of the fact that I may not dress like them, or I may do something different, and I am reading God's word and taking it by faith, that what I am reading, I am understanding. And I pray for understanding, and I pray that God shows me any aspect of my life that is wrong. And it wasn't until then that really started to grow. I have a love for God that is above any love I've ever felt before. I have a desire to learn as much as I can. I have the desire to witness to people and to tell everyone the love that I feel in my own heart for God. No matter what you see on the outside, I wish I could show you what is inside. God's blessed me. God's blessed me so much with so many things. He has showed me everything that He has showed me. He showed me in my own life. Where yes, I've had Christian mothers. Yes, I have no problem with weed, for instance. I have no problem with smoking that. Every seed-bearing plant was put on earth for our consumption. But at the same time, it's just like beer. And drink a couple of beers and be fine. No problem. I drink enough beer to where I get drunk, and then I'm wrong. I'm sinning. It's called overindulging. And He's showed me that. He has taught me a lot about that. And I study and strive to learn everything I can within my own life. The judgment. I've done so many studies on judgment, and I keep doing the studies on judgment because more and more I understand judgment, and more and more I'm telling everybody it's not right. You can't judge. And then I see where even the simplest little things that I say to a person, or the simplest little comments or whatever, is judging in its own, and it's not right to do that. But then again, at the same time, we are to know people by the fruits that they bear. And I'm blessed with knowing that I have turned back and watched my own videos, and I've seen me go from bearing very little fruit to definitely bearing the fruit of God when it comes to the way I try to treat people and the way I try to live life. And I don't concern myself with the things of the flesh. I concern myself with things of the spirit. And I've learned that no matter which way you look at it, the love of God is the key to all things. I'm so grateful that I've learned this, and I'm so grateful that God has put this on me. Sometimes it seems a little more than I can bear, and that's when I have to sit there and I have to pray, and I have to understand that God has His reason for everything that He does within our lives. Everything that He lets us go through, and everything that we do or say, and He has His reasons for everything. So, and I don't want anybody to misunderstand and think that I'm trying to preach to them like I'm better than. I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm simply explaining what I've learned and showing my walk with God. And I hope and pray that my walk with God touches people's hearts. And obviously, from what we've seen earlier, it has touched some. And that I am so grateful for. I traveled all the way across the United States, literally traveled all over the place, 10,300 something miles in a month and a half, telling every single person I could walk up to and every single person I could run into just how powerful the love of God is and what it means to me. I've had people tell me I was a fool. I've had people run from me, didn't want to be preached at. I wasn't even trying to preach. And I've had people that will sit there and listen to me, and I know we're touched. I don't know how many. I've been asked 100 times, how many people have you saved? I haven't saved any, but I don't know how many God has saved. But I do know that I have planted a lot of seeds. A lot of seeds have been planted all throughout the United States, and I know that I will be, and I am very blessed by God for doing so. For taking that simple act of faith and taking God at His word and God at His promise, and leaving a home not knowing where I was going to lay my head nor where I was going to get anything to eat, and leaving, packing my family up in a car, crammed up to go all over the United States in what looked like to be an insane mission, has been the most God sent blessings I've ever seen or received. And I hope and pray that my testimony helps each and every one of you at some point in time. Not on my time, not on your time, but on God's time. When He's ready for it to touch your heart, He will. He will make it touch your heart. He will prick your heart.
Don't do it.
Anyway. Yes, Roger, you are my friend. I'm sorry, I haven't read any of these. Let's see. You're blessed to be able to grow. Gnarly beard. How old was you when that happened to you choosing religion? How old was I? Oh, let's see. Early 20s, I believe. Yeah, I did. Let's see. I was in Mississippi on a dairy farm when I was 21. It was a little after that, so I don't know, early 20s. So. Brave one, where us critters. Yes. Anyway, I love you guys. I need to use the restroom and get up, move around a little bit, and get away from this AC. I'm about to froze. Anyhow, love you guys. I need to let my phone charge up a little bit. I will do another video later on. May God bless everyone. Much love. God bless.
She's just trying to catch you. You need to stop. Quit moving.